Alright, so boom. Last week I got about 33 different DMs across all social media platforms for my thoughts on this tweet from a lady named Desiree Michelle. In her tweet, she said,
"Women should be financially taken care of in a relationship. Your woman shouldn't have to worry about paying a damn thing. If you cannot afford to take care of a woman completely, don't date or pursue a woman until you can. The woman is the prize. Pay for it."
Now, initially, if she was speaking about her own personal views and her own personal preferences and her own personal requirements for a man, that's your business. But when you make a general statement and a decree to women in general, it now becomes my business. Moreover, when you go out of your way to make a 26-minute video attempting to explain your thoughts and you talk about absolutely nothing, it truly becomes my business, because I went out of my way to watch this entire thing hoping to engage in dialogue in the comment section, but unfortunately you said a whole lot of nothing. So let me break down how dumb you sound. Let's go piece by piece. And more importantly, before we even get into it, I just want to point out her video is heavily edited. There's a whole lot of cuts that are there. It's not as if she was speaking 26 minutes straight. So if at one point you see when I'm taking pieces of her clips and putting it here for you to see, if you see there's a jump or there's a cut, that's of her own doing. I'm going to leave the link to her video in the description, also in the top pinned comment, so you can see for yourself.
So as I've been getting older, I've realized that hypergamy is something that resonates with me. It's something that I agree with. It's something that will be my life, you know.
First and foremost, hypergamy in its purest form actually makes sense, because you should aspire to date up. You should aspire to date somebody who's in a higher tax bracket, a higher social class. However, there's a notion that comes with it that if you're not practicing hypergamy, you're dating a bum. You're dating significantly down, and that's simply not the case. If you look at the 5 different social classes, you have lower class where you're making upwards of $30,000. Then you have lower middle class where you're making between $30,000 and $50,000. Middle class between $50,000 and $100,000. Upper middle class between $100,000 and $350,000, and then upper class of $350,000 and more. Now, those numbers may have changed over the years, but from my understanding, these are the average median numbers. However, when it comes to hypergamy, here's the thing, especially in this day and age, because this ain't the 1960s where it made complete sense and you only needed one income to sustain a living. All right, it's extremely tough with living expenses now. So for one person to have to be, you know, the breadwinner and having to go out there and spend all the money, you had better specify what you bring to the table. And Desiree, she did not do that in her tweet. It was put out extremely vague. It was put out extremely general, and it was a decree to all women of, hey, you shouldn't have to pay for anything. But don't allow me to explain it. Oh no, let Desiree speak for herself.
Because at the end of the day, I didn't say anything that bad, and at the end of the day, people need to learn how to agree to disagree, okay? People need to learn how to just be like, oh, that's her. Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
But wait a minute, Desiree. That's not what you said. You didn't speak specifically and personally for yourself. Oh, no, you spoke in general. You didn't say, I believe that I should be taken care of financially in a relationship. You said women should be taken care of financially in a relationship. You didn't say I shouldn't have to worry about paying for a damn thing. You said your woman shouldn't have to worry about paying for a damn thing. You didn't say I am the prize, pay for it. You said women are the prize, pay for it. You see the difference there? If you said it was just you, people would just say, oh, well, that's just her, okay. But when you say women in general, that is now putting out to men, this is what they should expect. That is where the issue came. But of course, continue to not understand, Desiree. Speak for yourself.
I've never been the kind of person to like flaunt my things or talk about how much money I make, or talk about, you know, I tell you guys about like what's going on with like my show, and I have music coming. But if you really think about it, like as an influencer, I'm not that flashy. I'm not someone that, like, I don't talk about how much I make.
What was that? You're not one to talk about how much you make.
You know, it's not like I'm out here on the streets saying I need a rich man. Like, I'm taking care of myself. I'm good. 22 years old. I make 6 figures. I make enough money to buy my mom Balenciaga on Mother's Day. I make enough money to do things like that. Me, a 22-year-old girl that makes 6 figures, the man should provide. So that doesn't change because I make 6 figures. At the end of the day, while I make 6 figures, and I will never go half on a date with a man. I have the 6 figures that I'm referring to in my bank account. With my little 6 figures in my bank account, that is what I believe in, no matter if I make 6 figures. So with the 6 figures in my bank account, hopefully by the time I get married, I have more than 6 figures. With however many figures in my bank account, given the amount of money I make, people don't understand it because of the money that I make. The circumstances that I have within my own situation, in my own bank account, is damn because of the money that I make. I happen to be in an amazing position, an amazing money position, but because of the amount of money that I make, it's just because I make money.
But of course, you don't talk about it, right? I mean, you said it that many times in one video, but I digress.
I personally believe in that because I believe that someone that understands my lifestyle, that is kind of sort of living my lifestyle, us coming together, we'd be able to, there's a understanding in general of finances, you know. And as much as you guys want to say that finances don't matter in a relationship and it's the love that matters, I'm gonna tell you this. Love matters, because as much as I can date someone with money, right? I can date anybody with money. Whatever, right? I can date this person, this guy, this rich guy over here, this rich guy over here. But all of these rich guys that I could date, maybe only one of them will actually really spark my attention and actually serve me and actually stimulate my mind and actually, you know, just do the things that make me like somebody. Like, just because you have money, you know how many lame people in the world there is with money? A lot. Just as many lame people as there are without money. I mean, although it's a different tax bracket, let me tell you, I'm not dating nobody that's lame or just not compatible. You know, like, we have to be compatible at the end of the day. So as I'm dating in my tax bracket or higher, there's still so much more that goes into it. I do believe that it's extremely important to me, this is all me, I believe it's extremely important to, one, just date equal or higher. And that will always be my thing, you know. And
Release. Anybody feel like she was just trying to catch you in a genjutsu? She spoke for 104 seconds about absolutely nothing in an effort to explain why she practices hypergamy. Let's go piece by piece. First and foremost, she starts it out by saying she practices it and wants, you know, herself to have a man who understands finances. Evidently, you won't find that with an individual who is in a lower, you know, class than you. I beg to differ, because if we've seen anybody who does not understand financial literacy, it happens on both sides of the classes. How many athletes, how many entertainers have you seen go bankrupt, go broke because they don't understand money? Just because you make a certain amount of money does not mean that you understand money. After that, she goes on to try to provide a retort to the individuals who say love is what matters most. Immediately after she says it, literally immediately, stares up into the stars, starts to hear the X-File music, somehow caught herself in a genjutsu, and makes an argument against it, saying that, well, the way that she explained it, love probably is the most important thing that matters, because she spoke about how regardless of the fact that you have money does not necessarily make you interesting, compatible, or even a good fit for her. But wait a minute. I'm confused now. So what here is actually your purpose for practicing hypergamy? Because you didn't once explain it to me. Because after watching this 104-second explanation, I'm yet to see a breakthrough.
I think it's unfair that the people that have dragged me about this, how entitled, it seems like they're almost entitled. Like, they're mad at me for not wanting to date below my tax bracket. And I think everyone in this whole world, you know how people have a certain type? You know how people have a certain thing they like about somebody, or certain things, certain deal breakers or whatever? Everyone is entitled to that, guys. If you're not dating them, why do you care? Just like you may have this type. Oh, nah, man, my man gotta be fit. He gotta have a six-pack. Oh nah, my girl gotta have a big booty. Oh nah, she gotta have some whatever. What if I felt entitled and I was mad because I don't have a big booty? So now I'm gonna drag you because you said you want a girl with a big booty. You know what I'm saying? Like, that really doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I feel entitled to your preference?
Wait a minute, hold on. You said the people who dragged you, they are entitled, right? Then you're, in an effort to explain their entitlement, you pointed out preferences. Okay, by that exact same logic, your preference of dating a man who will court you and pay for everything, is that not also you being entitled? Or perhaps maybe you're not hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth. More importantly, let me allow you to explain your entitlement, Desiree. Let's take a listen.
I'm saying that I grew up in a household where I saw my people, my mom didn't touch none of that. Like, she didn't go in her purse. She didn't. And she made money. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom was provided for, and she always has been, and she always kept that standard. Also, the way that I grew up, you know, there's so many reasons why people may believe in hypergamy, and a huge reason may be because that's how they grew up and that's what they grew up seeing. So I definitely grew up seeing that. I grew up seeing my mom be provided for while also going to work and while also making her own bank.
Does that not sound like entitlement, Desiree? Because you're saying that you deserve and expect to date a man who will take care of you and provide for you solely under the grounds of the fact that you saw your mother do it. Where you saw your mother not have to worry about anything. That is literal entitlement. Because this person lived this way, I should live this way. And moreover, this is the one thing that I'm having issues understanding. Because if you were to say in general, this is how women of this ideology should live, right? What do you bring to the table, Desiree? Because if you have this man who is paying for everything, this is the epitome of, remember the episode of Everybody Hates Chris? Where the husband's money is the couple's money, but the wife's money is solely her money. This is the epitome of that. Because if you make six figures, like you say, what benefit does that serve to him? Because he's paying for everything. You're an expense. You're a negative on his bank account. What are you bringing to the table? But of course, you did talk about what you bring to the table. Let's hear about that, Desiree.
I believe that I bring so much to the table that whatever in this whole lifetime I decide I want, I can have. I don't believe that I should settle. I don't believe in anybody saying, I don't care how many people can hate me for this tweet for the rest of my life. But what I do know is that I believe that the woman that I am, the way I was raised, the value that I bring, I believe that I can have anything I want in this lifetime. And there's no one on this whole entire earth that's gonna tell me that I can't have what I want.
Release. It sounds like another genjutsu, because I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like you really don't bring nothing to the table. You know what I hear when you speak, Desiree, trying to explain things? All I hear is that, remember that Miss America pageant?
Recent polls, we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
Because I believe that in life, surrounding yourself with people that have, because I've always believed, and this has been since I was like in grading school, like as a young girl, I've always believed that surrounding yourself with, like, even your friend group should be of a certain caliber if you want to continue to progress in life. Birds of a feather do flock together, absolutely. So in life in general, in friendships, in relationships, in my colleagues, the people I work with, I want to make sure that everybody has something that is either matching me or is either above me, so that I can progress, so I can learn from them, so I could really, really, really just make sure that I'm going up and up in life. Now, there is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with wanting a friend group of a certain tax bracket. There's nothing wrong with wanting a relationship of a certain tax bracket. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you yourself, you have a certain tax bracket. You make money. You know what I'm saying? I make money. I can back all of this up.
You remember that person who's in the group project who really ain't do nothing, but because they associated with that group and their name was on the paper, they ended up getting an A when they did absolutely no work? This is what this sounds like to me. Because you're talking about associating with individuals who can add to your life. What are you adding to them? Not once have you ever specified your strengths. Now, I'm not telling you in your explanation of the tweet that you put out there that you're obligated to say so. But in an effort to truly get people to understand where you're coming from, don't you think the best possible way to defend yourself here is to explain what you excel at? Everything here is so empty. There's nothing attached to it. It's nothing but lip service. And most people fall for it because you're a very attractive face.
I believe that a man should provide. I do believe that. I believe that. You know, so that's just what I want, and that's what I'm gonna get. Because guess what? Whatever you want, whatever you get it. You get what you want.
Darling, you asking for a sugar daddy. You asking for somebody to fund your life, and you do nothing in return. Because not once did you specify what you would do for him. Not once. This never happened. You grew up seeing somebody take care of your mother and pay for everything. Never once thought, I wonder what she does to get that treatment. There's an issue here, psychologically, with individuals who think this way. The same way for men that I think if you have a ton of money, you shouldn't just expect a woman to pop or open them legs, pop that coochie, and you're entitled to that sort of behavior because you have money. If you're an attractive lady, you shouldn't just expect to date somebody of this high stature and you do absolutely nothing and get all of this in return.
Like I said, the general situation is that my man provides. My man completely provides. He doesn't even want me to touch my wallet. If it were up to him, I would never touch my wallet. I would never have to do anything. That is me spending my own money. That is how I grew up. That is what I grew up seeing. And that is what I believe in. And that is what I want in life.
Fellas, I want you to pay close attention to what you just said here. Allow it to get ingrained in your brain. Allow the words to tattoo itself onto your epidermis. She said she wants a man who provides for everything to where she doesn't even have to touch her wallet, nor spend any of her own money. So the money that's spent is yours. Hers never touched. There's a fine line between providing for somebody and, finding comfort or finding joy, elation, a euphoric feeling in taking care of somebody and saying, I'll pay for this, I got you and everything. And then there's another side where it's, wait a minute, I'm doing all of this for you. What are you doing for me? Up until this point, we're still yet to hear anything that she can do for him outside of when she said, well, I can just buy you a car. I can do this. But what that doesn't sound like that's something routine. You just talked about the lifestyle that you live. You go down your Instagram page, it doesn't appear that you happen to be, I'm going out one time per month for an exquisite meal. Oh, no. You also touched on you don't even feel as if you should know what the bill is when you go out. So you're somebody who'll go and order a porterhouse steak. You'll take about 2 forkfuls of the steak and then, I'm full. I don't want to eat anymore. And then all of a sudden the guy's supposed to just open up the wallet and pay for it. You've got to be kidding me. Fellas, pay attention here. This is an extortionist. This is a leech. Somebody who's going to drain your power. You know what she is? Remember when you were watching Dragon Ball Z growing up? And you remember the world tournament?
All right, let's do this. You keep him still, and I'll drain all of his energy. You ready? Yeah!
Remember when Yami came out? Put that thing into the side of Gohan. Remember that? Desiree and women like her, they are the thing that was stealing the energy. Not the individual who sticks in it. They are the epitome of that. Their brain is Yami. Their entirety is that they stick into you, and they're draining your energy. They're draining your money. They're not bringing anything positive to you. They're nothing but a liability.
Anyone watching this video, male or female, whatever it is you want in a relationship, please stick to that. Whatever values you have, stick to that. Don't change those things because of what may be socially accepted right now. You know, like, who cares?
All she sees you as is a check. You're a checkbook. And the minute that you no longer can provide that cash for her lifestyle, you don't need to be there anymore.
Nice. Thank you. Ha, we've got all we need and then some.
But think about it like this. If you owned a small business, Corona happens. Now you're not making any money. You think she's sticking around? No. Because you can no longer provide for her. There's no love that's attached there. This is somebody who only wants a partner who can fund the lifestyle that she lives to where she can continue to accumulate her own money, and you just funnel away all of yours. Because the minute that you can no longer provide that anymore, she's gone.
The circumstances that I have within my own situation and my own bank account, it doesn't change my values. You know what I'm saying? So my values have always been my values. So I guess it comes off as, well, damn, because of the money that I make. It's still my values though. Values don't go away. So I guess that's my response to that part. You know, it's just like my values are values. Those are just my values that I believe in. And you know, I happen to be in an amazing position, an amazing money position, but it's still my values. And I shouldn't have to change my values because of the amount of money that I make. It's actually not fair to me. It's not fair that I have to change my values and possibly be unhappy in my situation just because I make money. That's almost a way that almost sounds like a way like to keep me down. Like, oh man, if I want my values of a man providing, then I can't make this much money because it's selfish. When no, I'm gonna constantly want to progress in life. My values have nothing to do with that. It actually don't correlate at all, honestly. So I guess that's my response to that part.
In closing, she's trying to camouflage this scheme, if you will, behind the moniker of values, and anybody with a brain ain't falling for that. If you truly felt as if you should be taken care of, you want to date a higher tax bracket, you're practicing hypergamy, the first thing that you should do to defend yourself here is provide what you bring to the table. And evidently, you don't bring anything to the table. The dude brings not only his money, not only his status, not only his assets, he brings the damn table too. You just show up with a pair of Louboutins on your feet that somebody else done bought you behind all this money that you have in your account and do absolutely nothing for them. On Twitter, you posted your net worth, verified by Google of all places. If you Google my net worth, it says I make six figures at 177K. I don't. Google is very misleading. Unless you show receipts, nobody should believe you. And you shouldn't have to show receipts. But when you say 20 times in one video, I make six figures, I think people are going to start to question if you actually make six figures. Whatever the case may be, that does not matter. What does matter is you're a leech, and there shouldn't be men that are dating women like you.
Desiree, you spoke for 26 minutes about nothing. You live a high maintenance lifestyle and you want to maintain that. That's fine. However, your tweet wasn't presented as if it was written for your likes and tastes personally. It was presented as a decree that women in general should be financially taken care of. Hence why you started the tweet by saying, women should be financially taken care of in a relationship. Then ended your tweet by saying, the woman is the prize, pay for it. I'll ask you this. What exactly makes a woman a prize in general? Your sheer existence warrants a man paying for everything outside of investing? Investing is the only thing that you specified as worthy of you opening your wallet for.
Posted it on my Instagram and I went in depth. Here was my caption. I said, do I believe that a man should completely provide? Yes. Do I think that a woman should sit on her ass? No. I don't think anyone should. I make 6 figures and I will never go half on a date with a man. Actually, I'll never go half on anything with a man unless we are investing or starting some sort of business venture. I believe that when a woman has a man, she should never have to touch her wallet. He should actually feel uncomfortable if she does. I believe in hypergamy. What do you believe in?
You speak about the people who dragged you are acting entitled? Your explanation for why you felt women should be taken care of is literally entitlement. You said you feel as if a man should provide, therefore you feel as if you should be taken care of. This is entitlement. You say the woman is the prize without specifying why. That's entitlement. You won't date a man that doesn't provide for your every needs because your mother didn't have to? That's the definition of entitlement. I'm not dragging you for your personal views on your requirements to get with you, which appears to just be a bank account that has the sufficient amount of zeros attached to it. I'm not telling you to date down. That's your own lifestyle. I'm dragging you because you're trying to defend this notion that women in general should share this ideology. Plus, you said I make 6 figures about 50 times here. What is your goal sharing this information countless times? What are your assets? You making 6 figures is solely unilateral in a relationship because it doesn't benefit him whatsoever. Money alone means nothing. What are your resources? What are your strengths? What can you provide for him? What makes you desirable outside of your looks? What makes you keepable? You never once stated what you bring to the table. More importantly, you never stated what your mother brought to the table during your upbringing to keep your father around. It appears your concern is only in the pursuit of you, but not what you can do to keep them around. This entire video was the epitome of the phrase, "it is what it is." You never went into detail about why you feel this way, nor did you defend your stance on why women in general should feel this way. I watched this entire thing in the hopes I could engage in dialogue regarding this topic, but once again, I'm left disappointed. To the fellas that watch this, I'll say this. Stay away from women like this. They're nothing more than an expense on your bank account. A leech that'll suck you dry of your riches and move on to the next source of income when the opportunity is presented. I leave the floor open for your rebuttal.
While I have the 6 figures that I'm referring to in my bank account, if we go on a date, I believe that I should not have to look at the bill. As far as I'm concerned, I shouldn't even know how much the bill came up to. Like, I shouldn't even think about the bill. In general, I believe that a man that is a provider takes care of the bills. That is how I grew up. That is what I grew up seeing. That is what I believe in, no matter if I make 6 figures.
I know a lot of people who would still say, oh, but you would still sleep with her. Don't act like you wouldn't sleep with her. Perhaps. But there's a difference between sleeping with somebody and getting in a committed relationship with somebody. Because the same way I'm nothing but an empty checkbook to her, she's nothing but a human condom to me. And when I get done with the session, you belong to the streets. Because when you strip away all that makeup, you strip away that hair, you strip away that pretty face. Because if there was a way to take a, washcloth and just get away all that beauty, what do you have? Nothing here worth staying. Think about that.
Ladies, how many times has there been a guy in your life, or guys where there's been men in your life who want to sleep with you, but you didn't want to sleep with him? Zillions, you can't count it. So what that means, there's a philosophy there, meaning you are sexable. He wants to sleep with you, but just because you are sexable don't mean I'm sexable, right? Same thing with love. Just because I'm lovable doesn't mean that you're lovable too. You're just likable to me.